Welcome back to another edition of Talk So Real with Matt Sonzala. I am Matt Sonzala, and this is the podcast in which we're talking to some prominent figures in Austin hip hop community and talking about how this hip hop culture has, shaped their journey and that sort of thing. I want to thank the city of Austin and also KAZI Studios for bringing us all together here today. My next guest is a man who recently inspired me a lot to jump back into this a bit. He's a man of wears many hats, and he's got the best Austin hat on right now.
Hey.
My man, Junior Flexwell.
Thank you for having me, Matt. Man, I appreciate it.
Thank you for
so
coming.
much.
I appreciate it. Now, I want to talk about your journey as well. But I mean, when we met before, of course, but like a couple weeks ago, you had me on your podcast. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So WFPN right now is 3 shows. It's the Flexcast. It's Make It Make Sense, and then it's The Nutrition Continues. And they're all various theme-based shows, but they all crux around talking to interesting people about different topics. And so we came to KAZI October of last year. Prior to that, we were with another media brand, and it was going well, but it kind of like we reached our ceiling with that brand, and KAZI saw that and was like, hey, we think we can take this to the next destination. And so it's been, it's been a journey. I think that KAZI has an ear and an eye for community. And so that's what made me willing to, hitch that to that. And I loved it. It's been a ride.
I learned so much about music and the community and culture from KAZI over the years, from the 90s, and up to now. And it's just, feels very right to be here, man, and be here with you talking about this stuff. Now, one of the things I ask people who are from here and we're coming up, like, the average person, a lot of the time, is just told what to listen to, or they listen to the major label stuff that gets played on the radio, or they see the video or something. A lot of times they don't even realize the culture that's surrounding them, of artists making music outside of the major label world, outside of that sort of thing. And I wanted to ask you, when you were first coming up and wanting to get into music and getting into this, were there local artists who you were seeing around? Like, who were some of the people from that era of like when you were really
the first artist? And my bad. I get happy answering this because people don't know. Yeah. Yes, there were artists that when I was 11, 12, I was like, he's from here and I want to be like him.
Yeah,
KJ Hines,
man,
the League of Extraordinary G's. So yes, like there were absolutely local artists in addition to the Houston and Dallas stuff that I was listening to coming up as a kid in Texas. Absolutely.
That's amazing that you say KJ Hines, because that brought back a lot of memories. He was doing it.
He was doing it, bro. He had a video where he was like on a private jet.
Young too.
Yeah, he had a video. I'll never forget this. He looked like me, like we had a similar skin tone. And he has a video where he's like hopping out of a private jet as a 15, 16, 17-year-old. And I was like, yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
And so.
From Austin. Were you seeing those on like Magic Video?
Nah, it was still very much like internet.
Yeah. The beginnings of it, though.
The beginnings of it. The fresh start of video. Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've also talked with Wana, who was part of the Coolie Girls back in the day, and that's where I go back to like the early days of hip hop coming into Austin. One of the things that I appreciated here was like coming from Houston and other cities, like there was such a huge difference here because here it wasn't such a nightclub centric thing. It was the live music venue sort of thing. And I think that bred like a lot more artistry than a lot of other places, like where a lot of the stuff is just studio. Whereas here it was like you had to be really up on your game live music wise. And you also had a lot of examples to watch here. And it really showed from back then. I mean, you mentioned League of Extraordinary G's. Those guys had like an explosive show.
They were on national tours. I went to college in San Antonio, and I vividly remember being in college. I was at this dead-end bookstore job, not fun. The kind of job where, like, when you get paid and pay bills, you're broke again.
Yeah.
And I remember this coworker named Javier. He was like, "Hey, you're from Austin, right?" Because we kind of know each other by where we're from. He's like, "You listen to the League?" And I was like, "Oh wait, you're from Harlingen, which is way South Texas."
Valley,
and he knew who the League of Extraordinary G's were. And so I was like, wait, they have something. And that's kind of what put me. And so that was, in my opinion, that was the spur of why I was like, you know what? I want to take this seriously because I see KJ Hines, I see the League of Extraordinary G's, and a couple others. Kid Jones. I can name a couple that I saw them, and I was like, if they take it seriously and that's what it got them, because of that, I want to take it seriously.
So that was a really magical time too. That was a crazy time for hip hop. All those artists you just mentioned were doing so much
Doing
blowing people right off the stage.
Mm-hmm.
For real. What was like your first shows and stuff? Like, were you able to go out and see these guys?
Yeah. So I vividly remember a League and Ritz show that was at a venue that was in the back of it's not there anymore, but this venue was in I think it was called Red 7.
Yeah, Red 7.
I think that's what it was called.
It's a comedy club now.
Now it's called, it's something else now.
Creek in
a Cave or something like that. But I remember that. Who else do I remember? Big local shows. I remember Kid opening for a couple people and just going to those shows as a young teenager still in high school before I really started to take it seriously. Maybe 16, 17, around that time. I was like, yo, if they can get this, I'm gonna take it seriously and see what I can do.
That's what made you take it seriously, man. A lot of people don't understand that effect they have, man, and how important that is. Like, I've heard every complaint in the book over the years and stuff, and other cities overshadow this and that, but there's something really about Austin that's so much more dynamic than I think even people inside it give it credit for, man. And I think sometimes when you're on the inside looking around, you don't see the full picture. But coming from Houston and running around here, like, especially early on, but we all talk about the changes here and stuff. But when I first came, it was like heaven over here. I'm talking about from punk rock houses to Gibbons Park, like seeing a whole perspective of this like very unique city.
So here's how I would respond to that. Because you mentioned punk rock.
Yeah.
And I feel Austin has always been very friendly to the rock genre.
Oh, yeah.
It's never not been.
Yeah.
But our plight is a little bit different because our genre is a little more rambunctious. And before you can have footing, you have to prove value.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a lot of people in Austin slip up. They don't realize that, like, before you can go to these venues and ask them to take your show seriously, you have to build value.
Right.
You have to prove over and over again that I have a formula that wins. And if you're not doing that, you can't really complain.
Right.
Either figure the formula out. Can I cuss on here or no?
Please. Yeah.
Or shut the fuck up. Yeah. Like, respectfully. And I say that so respectfully because I deal with a lot of Austin creatives, a lot of Austin entities, curators, whatever you want to call them, people who care about culture in Austin. Mm-hmm. And you're right. There's a lot of complaining. But then I run into people who are like, they're figuring the formula out. And I'm like, thank you for doing something else.
Well, I'm sorry, this generation, man, they don't really know. I mean, now I'd say post-COVID, the venues are getting more like, they need to make as much money as they can. It's like, it's kind of a crazy thing when I don't even want to book shows anymore with the way they act. But I'm sorry, I came in on that tail end of the era where black artists and rap especially, they were not welcome in a lot of places in Austin, man. I think it's never going to be 100% changed, but it's changed a lot. So there's a certain generation of Austin rappers that, they really went through that. They really had the doors closed. I mean, Austin was very literally a segregated city.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think that, like, what I saw the trend that I'm seeing now, if we're fast forwarding to now, I'm seeing people wrap live shows into like themed activation.
Yep.
Where like this group of vendors is going to come here and we're all going to have, okay, I'll give you an example. I saw a jewelry activation. It was a mouth grill vendor. Went to a venue, this like patio venue in East Austin, West 6 or West 7, somewhere over there. They're like, hey, we're going to come here and do a jewelry vendorship and we'll have 3 live performances. They were local artists. Because people wanted to come there and get grills made, it was packed. When they braked and pushed everybody to the show, the performances were amazing. So I think this is the clever thing you have to do in Austin. You have to wrap business around music. And if you can wrap business around music and consistently get some asses in seats, it's a green light. It's a green light.
Yeah, we talked about that before too with the branding. Like branding wasn't such a thing back in the day, but now it's like, it's so in your face and such a thing. And you do have to make a unique show because, we're talking about back in the day, one hip hop show every couple months. Now it's like 3 a week or something. It could be local. It could be
crazy.
It could be at the Moody. It could be at Flamingo. It could be anywhere in between. And it's just really the culture and everything is just like changed and developed here so much.
It's really crazy, Matt. Like, you are correct. You come from the days of like Beauty Ballroom, and like you were there. We met in passing a couple of times, Matt.
Yeah.
And one thing I always liked about you when I met you in passing was that you could be doing a million things when I met you. You know, I might meet you walking out of a venue. I might meet you on the phone. I might, but you take a quick second to give somebody their respect. And I peeped that about you several times over the years, Matt. When I'm out in Houston, because my family's from, my dad is from New Orleans, but my mom is from Houston. When I'm out with my homies in Houston, and Doe Beezy pulls up on us and says, yeah, Matt Sonzala is a real one. When your name starts coming from other places, I'm like, wait, hold on. Who is this guy? And so, yeah, like, it's been a run, man. And I've been able to watch you. You don't even know some of the things I've picked up from just like, you used to have a very interesting Twitter. You kind of, not so much anymore, but you used to get on Twitter and let it fly, man. And I would just pick up game because you would be spitting real shit. And I would just be watching and I'm like, man, that's actually correct. Like, let me tuck that and use that somewhere. And so, yeah, like you don't even know, man. It's been a journey. I'm glad to come here and finally talk about everything. It's been wild.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, honestly, if you never messed me over, then I'm gonna always give respect. You know,
Absolutely.
there's a few people who would say the opposite of what you just said, but
you're
I'm
a villain, bro. One thing I've learned about
man.
life, you're a villain in somebody's story.
Yeah, everywhere.
Like,
So
everybody's a villain in somebody's story.
But I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't have mentors and have people who were, you know, that really cared. And, you know, I know how this business is. And I know how people screw each other over. I know how, you know, shady it can be. You know what I mean? The good and the bad of this industry is it's like anything. There's a balance. And I appreciate you saying that because I definitely, you know, when I came here, it was like, I wanted to see things, not just Austin, honestly, just hip hop succeed, you know, and it's such a dynamic culture and it's everywhere in the entire world. Austin has its little pocket of it here. And it's like, also was host to the biggest music conference in the world, is host to the biggest music conference in the world. You know what I mean? It was like, we got to be a part of everything.
When I'm in other places, because I travel a lot for leisure and for business and I'm into a lot of stuff. The characterization that I hear about Austin, Texas is that it's the last small, big city. And I think that if we take that thinking and translate it to our art, this is what I tell artists, because I talk to them every month. We interview artists here, you know? Take that big city mindset to your music. Use this to cultivate polish in a small environment so that when it's ready, like when it's really ready, not when it's kind of ready. When it's really ready, oh, the big stars come here too.
Yeah. We got everything here.
We saw, when we were little, Trey, Zero, Chameleonaire, those stars came here. So we knew that they cared about our market and our market had a market for this. You know what I mean? This is your little small sample size to polish and get it right so that when you do hit big, you look polished, you know?
Yeah, for real.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what it's become. For real. Like, it's totally a new world. And it's still Austin.
100%.
If you allow it to be. You know?
100%.
Now, in your journey, like, tell me about when you first started, like, making music on your own. Like, did you feel like these OGs and people that you knew here, were they receptive? And so, was it a pretty cool community?
Just like with life, there's yin and yang with everything.
Yeah.
I had OGs that put their hand on my shoulder and said, hey, do this, don't do that. Absolutely. And then I had OGs that was like, they wanted $1,000 for me to shake their hand. So just like with anything in life, you got to find your yin and your yang and figure out which one is yours. I started taking music seriously in 2016, 2017. 2015, I played saxophone when I was younger, so I always loved music.
Dope.
Yeah, I played saxophone. I was a band geek, so I always loved music. But recording hip-hop music, I started taking it seriously probably like 2015, 2016. Around that time, this is where the league is popping off. Shortly after the league is popping off. This is when Kid is really going crazy. Kid Jones, in my opinion, I've never been like competitively scared to rap with anybody except for Kid Jones. Because at this time, he is not only winning, but he's winning with bars. Like at this time, bars matter. Not so much now. Now you can get away with a cool melody and sell a lot of units. But like this is back when your bars had to be pristine. And Kid was just not letting it drop. Every time he released, he was just raising the bar for like what a local rapper should rap like. And at this time, I'm like, let's go. If we got killers like this, I'm one of them too. Because I was writing, and I could read music from playing an instrument, and I could write music from playing an instrument. And so I'm like, yo, I could take that and mix it with the beats and oh, I might be cooking. So we do that around that time. So first couple years is just me releasing independent music. I had Fresh Produce come out. That was a mixtape offering that was just like me and a couple Texas homies that knew I would take it seriously, rapping on Jack beats, right? And then after that, I have Something Serious come out. It's my first like where all this is original music. We're not jacking anybody's music. We paid producers. We got in the studio. That starts getting me shows. From that, I get to start opening for artists that come to Austin. Artists like Waka Flocka. I opened for Kendrick Lamar when Good Kid, Mad City came out. I got to open for Ace Hood, Currency. It's been a wild ride, and I've got to share stages with a lot. Maxo Cream, one of my favorite Houston artists. I got to open for him twice in Austin, just because when they came here, they knew this kid can move tickets. The same way I have a podcast organization now, I had an organization back then that moved tickets. I had a homie that lived south. I lived north. I had a homie that lived east, and I had a homie that lived west. And when anybody wanted tickets for a live show, we pulled up on them with tickets.
Man.
There were times when I sold more tickets than the headliner in several shows that I opened for them, because I just had that much of a lock on the market. Promoter come to me, hey, we gotta do this again. I'm like, yeah.
Was that like Scoremore?
Scoremore was one of them. Ooh, I don't want to say their names, but
okay,
Scoremore was one of them. I'm gonna say I would promote a business though, because here's the thing: all these companies still exist, and I would still like to work with them.
Oh, yeah. No, I understand it. But I don't really bring them up because you talk about a very specific era. And like when Kendrick and them were first coming.
Scoremore was one of the promoters. Scoremore was the promoter for the Kendrick show.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So,
but we worked with everybody. We didn't just work with Scoremore. Obviously, was one of the premier people that came to us with opportunities. But we worked with everybody, man. Yeah. I got to open for Kurt Cobain's once, and it was through Capital View Arts.
Okay.
So we worked with everybody. Like we said no to nobody, because I really believe that once your music and your hustle is ubiquitous, everybody knows about it, that's when it starts to bubble. So we didn't say no. I did shows where I had to stand on a speaker at literally a hole in the wall, not the venue hole in the wall, a hole in the wall, and so.
But that era was the time that things started really shifting here. I mean, because before that time, there wasn't multiple hip hop shows every week. There wasn't the openness from the 6th Street and Red River venues and stuff like that. It wasn't like that, man.
Or the promoters even wanting to give us a shot to show what we're worth. Because I knew, I was looking at, I was a believer in analytics at first. When I was on SoundCloud and it tells me 1,000 people played this song today, I'm like, that's at least 10 ticket sales. Like, yeah, like, no, hell no. Like, book the show. Like, so I believed in analytics from the very beginning, and it worked.
Yeah.
There were artists, I remember, this is crazy. And I never thought I'd tell this story, but I'm going to tell it. I remember when Wiz Khalifa first got Taylor Gang, like when he was first putting it together, he signed an artist from Houston named Sosa Man. Sosa Man is a part of like the whole sauce new movement out there, right? Sosa Man had a show in Austin that was like I just signed a Taylor Gang show. I opened it and sold almost double the tickets that were sold through the other openers and attributed to him. I'll never forget, the promoter came up to me, she was like, you need to start doing your own show. But I was always scared to do that, because I was like, if it fails, I like to have a partner. So if something fails, we don't take this big dive in the dirt alone. I like to have a partner. And so I was always scared to just buy a venue and throw my own shows. I never did that. But I have plenty of promoters, just off the strength of how we would organize ticket sales, they would be like, why don't you throw your own shows? And I was always scared to do it, man. I was always scared to do it, because I was like, one L can end you in that.
No, it's a risk. It's a big risk.
One L can end you in that. And so, yeah.
No, it's dope, man. I mean, it's a pretty interesting you say that, because I remember those hand-to-hand days, man. The ticket, before that, before analytics and stuff, we were, physically selling tickets, or we had to go to the mall and buy a ticket from one store that would happen to have physical tickets. Yeah, Music Mania and stuff.
Complete Culture, the owner, when Complete Culture opened, I was real cool with the owner, Benjamin, there. He would tell me, hey, he would see it. He would be like, hey, bring tickets to the store. So people just started to recognize it, like Junior Flexwell is a hustler. And whatever he's doing, he's going to do it well. That's what the name means. Flexwell means, like, part of it is flexing, like being flexible, being able to adjust. But whatever you do it well, man. Take some pride in what the fuck you do, because people notice that.
Yep. No, I appreciate that too, man, because I'm kind of averse to this video stuff. But I'm with it. I came in here with you guys. I saw the setup. I was like, man, we can do this, make it simple, make it work. And I'm really happy to have this opportunity to talk to you again. And we definitely should continue on more and more and telling these stories of the history here.
Absolutely.
if people want to know more, want to get in touch with you, where's the best way to find you?
I'm going to always shout out the network first. Go on Instagram, WFPN. You type it in, we're the first and only thing that pops up. And I love that.
Yeah.
That's our little block on Instagram. So
does that stand for something? What is WFPN?
Yeah, I'm good. Nobody ever asked. Ooh,
I've been wondering that. I'm glad I'm
So, and I'll tell a quick story about WFPN.
Sure.
Do we have time?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay, all right. So when WFPN first started, we were recording in this studio that was like in the back of the Fifth Street, right? It was like a very little, very makeshift setup. There were days when we didn't have parking. We had to walk from like another block to get there. We were doing it, but we weren't doing it properly. We were just kind of getting it together, right? Over time, we started doing it properly. And WFPN means we flex properly now. It means that we started a little shaky. There were some days when we were like, yo, I don't know if this is gonna last.
Oh yeah.
But look up, 6 years have gone by. 2019, we started in 2019, the year of pandemic.
Okay.
WFPN started 2019. 6 years have gone by and we're only growing.
Yeah.
So WFPN was kind of what we coined. We flex properly now. And we invite people to come flex with us, for us, against us, however you want to do it. Just, so yeah, that's kind of what it is. And it's kind of like a creative culture vehicle that I'm going to use to like do a lot of cool things that I think should have been happening in Austin already. We've kind of crept into live events. We've done 2 live podcast events with WFPN and they've gone very well. We gave Dave Chappelle tickets away at one.
Dope.
Yeah, like we do cool shit like that. Somebody in the crowd tonight is going to see Dave Chappelle for free.
That's dope.
I think you'd come, right? You'd
come,
at least try to get a crack at it, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
So
sure.
We do cool shit like that. Yeah.
Dope. Well, man, I appreciate you coming out, man. And anything we could do, let's stay in touch.
Absolutely,
and want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. We've got more to come. It's a whole series here, Talk So Real with Matt Sonzala. I'm Matt Sonzala, and we're telling the stories of people's journeys through hip-hop culture in Austin, Texas. Thank you to the city of Austin. Thank you to KAZI Studios. And keep on tuning in.
Yeah.